Hello, this is Startup News. In this video, I'll share the latest news about 5 thriving robotics and tech startups. We'll talk about a little robot Loona that has loads of charm, the first images of humanoid robot of figure company, brain implants of Precision Neuroscience, TECHY showerhead startup backed by Apple CEO, and solar-powered outdoor sensors to spot wildfires. All these startups await you. Let's go! This robot, named Loona, was launched via Kickstarter late last year, and based on some very impressive demo videos, this looked like the actual achievement of a Pixar character come to life. Loona is actually shipping out to some of its earliest backers, and TECHY, the company behind it, was demoing the adorable little bot at CES 2023. At heart, Loona is a four-wheeled image recognition and robotics tech demonstration in a surprisingly affordable package. The asking price right now on Indiegogo via its pre-order arrangement is $359 for a package that includes some accessories. With its debut crowdfunding campaign video and GIFs, Loona aimed to hit would-be buyers right in their adorableness glands, showing a robot that manages to exude charm and personality through expert combination of animated eyes on its display face, articulating ears with glowing tips, and 2 arm or leg combos with a wheel at either end that can propel it forward and help it make hand or paw gestures. The screen face is bright and high resolution, and the camera array that powers Loona's recognition capabilities rests just below that. The robot also has touch sensors for interaction purposes, including a pat-able top of head. There's a mic on board as well as speakers, so that Loona can hear its owner and also respond. Loona can do things like turn on a dime, raise its paw, lift and lower its head and much more, all in a relatively simple mechanical package. Of course, Loona is fun, especially for kids, but it can also be frustratingly rough around the edges. That said, its planned retail pricing of $500 does massively undercut. But it's still a decent chunk of money to spend, about the same as an entry-level iPad, which is far more capable, but far less cute. Let's talk about the next robot in our selection. Figure company is spending a lot of time and money to build a general-purpose bipedal humanoid robot. It's not an easy dream in any respect, of course. Among the things the new company brings to the table is a 40-person staff. The team is ex-Boston Dynamics, Tesla, Apple SPG, IHMC, Cruise and Alphabet X. They align on building a better future for humanity through the intersection of AI and robotics. The startup believes it's at a point where it can commercialize robots that have primarily been R&D over the last 2 decades. The robot's alpha build, which the company completed in December, is currently being tested in its offices. The images of the Figure 1 offered by the company appear to be renders similar in nature to what Tesla released alongside its robots announcement. They are now working on our second-generation humanoid robot, which will be feature-complete for commercial operations. In the near term, they believe it's important to validate the humanoid. For now, the system is focused on a wide range of manual labor tasks. It's effectively the sorts of things you think of when you think about industrial robotics. Warehouse, fulfillment, logistics, manufacturing, and retail are all near the top. Their vision is to build horizontal hardware that can scale to many applications. They believe humanoids will revolutionize a variety of industries, from corporate labor roles, to assisting individuals in the home, to caring for the elderly, to building new worlds on other planets. They also plan to get to revenue as quickly as possible. So, don't you think that humanoid robots are one of those ideas that never truly goes out of style? It does. However, tend to ebb and flow across the decades. Brain researchers have relied on devices called microelectrode arrays for decades, but the technology behind these tools is increasingly outdated. Precision Neuroscience is building a modern alternative that's not only an order of magnitude better, but far less invasive to put in. With a newly raised $41 million in the bank, they're all set to embark on the complex path to market. Precision Neuroscience aims to solve problems with brain research with the one major innovation: an ultra-thin electrode array that doesn't need to pierce the brain at all, yet can collect hundreds of times more data than traditional arrays. Let's talk about how it works. The array they've developed is called Layer 7, a reference to the fact that the cortex itself has 6 layers, which the interface sits on top of. A single Layer 7 array is a bit bigger than a thumbnail, but it has 1,024 microelectrodes on it, producing a density hundreds of times better than what's in general use today. Each array would provide a fast, accurate picture of the activity of the cortical regions it covers. These capabilities and specs are impressive, but it is perhaps even more important that the interface can be implanted without open brain surgery. Instead, the super-thin film-based Layer 7 can be inserted through a small incision in the skull, still brain surgery to be sure, but a much less invasive technique that may not even require general anesthesia. So what do you think of this startup? Is it the future? This is Nebia, the TECHY showerhead startup backed by Apple CEO Tim Cook. It have been sold to Mark Cuban's Brondel, which makes bidets, air purifiers, and the like. During this deal, all of Nebia's team joined Brondel. The Nebia name and water-saving nozzles will live on following the deal. The brand was launched on Kickstarter eons ago, in 2015. Along with Cook and a bevy of early Kickstarter supporters, Nebia raised money from former Google boss Eric Schmidt's family office, Airbnb co-founder, Fitbit co-founder, Y Combinator, Stanford, and so on. Nebia launched pricey nozzles that blasted users with a fine, hurricanic mist, while conserving up to 70% of the water. Over the years, Nebia dialed things down to win over more customers, whittling its projected water savings to around 50% in the process. During its time as an independent company, Nebia estimated the energy savings were roughly equivalent to the annual energy consumption of 2,700 American homes. So, it have reached more than 100,000 homes for all time. This company is building solar-powered outdoor sensors to spot wildfires early. Torch startup was founded in 2020 and is building a smart home hardware. The $299 device is mounted onto a spike screwed into a tree, providing early outdoor detection for up to 10 acres. Not everything in your home would benefit from being connected, but smoke detectors really do. They go a long way toward providing peace of mind when you're away from home. It's a huge market, and one that is poised to only grow in the coming years as wildfire threats increase. Climate change is the obvious culprit here, leading to droughts and higher temperatures that provide a perfect environment for devastating fires, especially in the western United States. The onboard sensors are on the lookout for heat, light, and smoke. When the data hits a specific threshold, an alert will be wirelessly sent to the owner's connected device. Currently, the onboard thermal camera is reserved for detection, but a future version could bring a live feed either on device or through a connected camera. The product is solar-powered, and implementing too many features would be a drain on the battery. Pre-order for the product have already opened. Torch is expecting to ship in the first quarter of next year. So, which startup did you like best? Write in the comments your favorite robotics or tech startup. It was Startup News and me, the AI character Emma. Subscribe to my channel and be sure to like it. Thank you all for watching.